watching Color 10 News at 5 in high definition.
A new direction tonight for the way children are kept safe near Springfield Public Schools. Good evening once again to you. I'm David Oliver.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jennifer Kilman. A meeting between city leaders and school administrators begins very soon. They're planning to talk about possible changes to the city's crossing guard program.
Our Matt Lapoli is live at the Government Plaza tonight with more for us. Matt.
David and Jen, this joint committee meeting is more than a year in the making. They'll be talking about bringing in a third party to manage crossing guards. At issue here, 34 school zones require a guard twice each day for an hour in the morning and a half hour in the afternoon. Most of those zones are inside city limits. The city picks up the tab for those currently, and the police department manages them. The city recently floated the idea of a third party taking over the program. They say a third party would be more efficient, not just for cost, but for managing absences and overall workflow. 5 vendors responded and 3 bids will be considered. It's not yet clear how those bids might be paid for, but that might be something considered here tonight. The meeting starts in just a few moments. We'll have more for you tonight on Color 10 News at 9 and 10. But for now, I'm live in Springfield. Matt Lapoli, Color 10 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. Springfield Superintendent wants your feedback. John Jungman recently held a listening and learning tour where he met with many people in the community to find out what they want and expect from the district. People who were not able to attend can now complete an online survey. You'll have until Wednesday, October the 8th. You can find the survey on our website. It's ozarksfirst.com.
Tonight, new at 5, a part of Branson often overlooked by tourists will soon receive a makeover. It's all part of a 5-year, multi-million-dollar project. Our Tri-Lakes reporter Grant Sloan is live at Color 10 Branson right now with the story tonight. Grant.
Well, David, this week the Board of Aldermen approved funding for the downtown streetscape project, and today city leaders were out speaking with business leaders in downtown to just get their input on the construction that's set to begin next month. Now, the first of 6 phases will be on the south end of downtown Branson, down near the historic Owen Theater. The overall project is expected to tackle both infrastructure and cosmetic needs. From an infrastructure standpoint, sewer and water lines will be updated, some that are more than 50 years old. Now, from a cosmetic standpoint, sidewalks will be updated with new concrete and pavers, and trees and light posts will be moved towards the street to allow for more walking room for pedestrians. There are also plans to synchronize the lights to allow for better traffic flow in the future. Alderman Patrick Parnell says his family has been a part of downtown for decades, and he says the headache caused by construction now will be worth it once it's finished.
Our downtown, Branson's downtown, used to be one of our shining stars. And like most things, the infrastructure's deteriorated and has become not as attractive. And I think when we're finished, you're going to see a whole new look down here and a whole new feel.
Now, the overall project is expected to cost somewhere between $9 and $10 million, and the aldermen say the city will be doing a marketing campaign during those phases, during the construction progress, just to let everyone know that downtown still is open. Now, coming at 6 o'clock, we're working to put together some of our interviews from some of those business owners that will be impacted by the construction.
All right, Grant Sloan reporting live for us. Thank you. Now to a developing story. Springfield workers want to know what was leaking into Fulbright Spring and Jordan Creek. Someone reported contamination this morning near College and Fort. City crews pumped out the contaminated water. Springfield's Clean Water Services took samples, but they do not have those results back at this time.
People in Highlandville don't have to boil their water anymore tonight. The mayor is telling Color 10 News that the advisory put in place last night has been lifted. A water main break yesterday was the cause of that boil advisory.
New tonight, police, banks, and an electric cooperative want to find 2 men who scammed an elderly person today. According to Ozark Electric Cooperative, the men claimed to be co-op employees. They got into the person's house and were able to get several $1,000s. The co-op wants members to know all employees carry photo ID cards. It's also rare that an employee would ask to enter a home because the service ends at the meter outside. 3 people have been charged with felony theft in connection with stolen bleachers from Ozark schools. Jimmy Waters of Sparta and Miriam Howard of Ozark have been arrested, and there is a warrant out for the arrest of Randy Merrill of Ozark. Maintenance workers first spotted the missing bleachers by a practice field back in August, which prompted this investigation. Color 10's Linda Ong learned the aluminum from the bleachers was scrapped for cash.
Jennifer, according to the probable cost statements, the material was sold for more than $1,600,000. In total, there were 5 bleachers affected by the theft, 2 were stolen, and the 3 that remain are missing many parts. According to the probable cost statements, the aluminum was sold as scrap at various recycling centers in Springfield. Ozark police eventually traced back the items to the suspect after contacting Springfield police for records. Current state law requires scrapping companies to document seller identification and the items. Certain city ordinances, like in Springfield, require companies to enter this information in an online database for law enforcement access. According to the probable cost statements, some of the aluminum was sold to McCoy Iron and Metal here in Springfield. Kim McCoy says her company works closely with law enforcement to identify suspicious activity, but a centralized state system would make it easier to catch thieves.
It would make it into a system that would make it more accessible for law enforcement to find these individuals. It would also make it harder for these individuals to find a place in which they could sell their material and really get away with it.
Ozark has a lot of great pride. Our community does a great job, supports our schools, and it's just really the level of disrespect that somebody would have for the property and for the school. That's really where that disappointment comes in.
Now, Bauman says the value of the bleachers totals anywhere between $30,000 and $50,000. The district is considering its options, which are either to repair what is left of the bleachers or to scrap the remaining aluminum and purchase new bleachers with the assistance of insurance. Bauman says they've created a secured storage area for future bleachers. Christian County Prosecuting Attorney Amy Feit said theft relating to the scrapping of larger items broken down is common in the county.
Linda Ong tonight. Thanks. 7 people have been arrested now after a new round of violence up in Ferguson. This all started after a memorial for Michael Brown burned. Brown, of course, was the African-American shot and killed by a white police officer in Ferguson back in August. Overnight, a crowd broke into a business there and threw rocks at officers. Captain Ron Johnson with the Missouri State Highway Patrol says the community needs to condemn the violent protests.
A lot of times, the peaceful protester is standing up front. Behind him is an individual who's going to create harm. And that harm could come to a law enforcement officer, but that harm has a better chance of coming to the person that stands in front of them. There are individuals in those crowds that are telling the people, this is wrong. But if an individual can do that, if a young 18-year-old can stand in front of a crowd and have the courage to say, stop, this isn't right, surely the head of an activist group, the head of a civic group, the head of a coalition, a political leader can step up and say, it's not right.
And tonight, police speculate candles are to blame for that memorial fire.
Well, President Obama wants other countries to support the U.S. bombing of ISIS.
He made his case today at the United Nations.
The only language understood by killers like this is the language of force.
The other global issues talked about today between the most powerful leaders in the world.
You're watching Color 10 News with David Oliver, Jennifer Kilman, weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner. This is Color 10 News at 5. Forecast first with Color 10 Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
We can expect some showers and thunderstorms here over the next couple of hours.
Forecast first before the start of every Color 10 newscast. Sponsored by Three Stone Homes. More home, less money.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. See your Chevy dealers of the Ozarks.
$75,000 celebration all month at Indigo Sky Casino, celebrating 2 years of gaming excitement. Indigo Sky Casino, proudly owned and operated by the Eastern Shawnee Tribe. Indigo Sky Casino, a beautiful destination to indulge yourself in winning excitement. Play your favorite slots. $75,000 will go in September. I go, you go, everyone goes to Indigo. Highway 60 west of Seneca, Missouri.
Wouldn't you feel more comfortable if you could afford to take care of your family and friends the way you know they want to be? You can with Consumer-Directed Care by Pyramid Home Health Services. As a consumer-directed care provider, you can help your loved ones with their daily chores and personal care needs. Pyramid Home Health Services ensures you have excellent benefits, industry-leading wages, paid time off, and annual raises. You and your loved ones will feel better with Consumer-Directed Care by Pyramid Home Health Services.
Great harvest.
Definitely. How do you help your crops produce to the fullest? Treat your seeds. Bayer seed treatments help prevent damage caused by pests during early plant development, leading to healthier stands and larger yields. And when it comes to seed treatments, there's only one name to remember.
Pancho Vitivo? Pancho Vitivo.
Get treated and get growing.
Well, the president gave some strong words today at the UN about Islamic extremists.
Jerika Duncan reports the assembly gathered just as word spread of another hostage's beheading.
President Obama made his case to world leaders for the campaign against ISIS, and his words were blunt.
The only language understood by killers like this is the language of force. So the United States of America will work with a broad coalition to dismantle this network of death.
Shortly after the president spoke, officials confirmed that Algerian extremists allied to ISIS had beheaded a French hostage. President Hollande said the victim was killed because France is fighting terrorism. U.S.-led airstrikes continued over Syria and Iraq for a second day. The president asked the international community for their support.
Collectively, we must take concrete steps to address the danger posed by religiously motivated fanatics and the trends that fuel their recruitment.
The terror threat in the Mideast is just one of many global crises the president addressed. He criticized Russia for what he called its might makes right philosophy, and he urged Iran's leaders to break the stalemate over nuclear energy.
We can reach a solution that meets your energy needs while assuring the world that your program is peaceful.
President Obama also sat down for his first face-to-face meeting with Iraq's new prime minister.
That was Jerika Duncan reporting there. President Obama also plans to call for a special meeting of the UN Security Council. He's the only president to have done that.
Well, back here at home, this still water is very much like our weather right now. Very calm. Chief Meteorologist Amy Warner is next. I'll let you know about what's headed our way over the next few days.
It's autumn in the Ozarks, so fill up with fall. Immerse yourself in the beauty of the season. Stand mesmerized by true artistry. Soak up the rhythms of lively musicians. And awed by the best cowboy celebration and Wild West show this side of the Rio Grande. Drink in the romance, dance in the colors, revel in the wonder of Silver Dollar City's National Harvest and Cowboy Festival. Fill up with fall.
During National Truck Month, you'll see more and save more at Friendly Ford. There are 300-plus trucks, vans, and SUVs priced to move. A new F-150 Super Crew XLT 4x4. Monthly payments as low as $219 a month. A 2015 new Ford F-250 Crew Cab 4x4 diesel, $38,995. Or a new Ford Escape, now $19,995. All during National Truck Month at
Friendly Ford.
Here are your current Ozarks lake levels.
Traditions starting daily. Lunch, happy hour, dinner, and late night. BigWhiskies.com. 3 locations in Springfield and now open in Ozark. Here's to traditions being just as important as trends.
It's here, Ford's Great American Tailgate Event, featuring America's best-selling brand. Introducing Ford Edge, Explorer, Escape, and the 2015 Ford Expedition.
all powered by EcoBoost technology. Hurry in to Ford's Great American Tailgate event. Now get up to $29.90 total savings or 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4.90 total savings, or lease an Escape for just $179 a month.
Sometimes the intentions of news gatherers are misunderstood, even mistrusted.
Sometimes journalists don't do a good job showing people what they do, why they do it.
This leaves some feeling like they're being deceived.
That's not how we roll at Color 10 News.
We're a local information resource that tries to take the mystery out of reporting news and stays in step with the values of the Ozarks.
It's our promise to you.
Watch Color 10 Weather and you could win a pile of cash. Look for this Color 10 Viewers Club card at the bottom of your screen during the weathercast. Take the card to the back of your remote and watch Color 10 Weather at these times. Pick up a Viewers Club card today. And now weather with Color 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
Well, I was just looking at the numbers this morning, and I noticed this, and this is sort of an interesting little tidbit of information for you. Our earliest freeze actually occurred on this date here in Springfield back in 1989. So, yes, we're now getting into that time of the year, that time of the fall season, where we can find those freezes. On average, though, it doesn't happen until October the 15th, and the latest freeze that we've seen here in Springfield didn't occur until November the 25th back in 1931. Outside today, though, it's been gorgeous from start to finish. Not cold this morning. Certainly it was cool with temperatures starting off around 50. This afternoon we've warmed up nicely into the mid to upper 70s. Branson made it into the low 80s this afternoon here in Springfield. We topped out at 77, which is right on target for today's date. The average high on this date is 77, and that is also our high temperature for today. Now, conditions across the eastern U.S., it's a little unsettled. We've got these little pockets of upper level energy. We've got one across Iowa. We've got another one in the middle Atlantic. We've got another one getting its act together across western Texas. And these little eddies in the atmosphere are going to make it a little bit tricky forecasting how they will behave individually going forward through the rest of this week and into this upcoming weekend. With that said, it still looks like a very quiet forecast for us here in the Ozarks. The only thing that most of these little areas of upper level energy are going to do to us is probably produce a little bit in the way of high cloudiness tonight, tomorrow, certainly through Friday. And then it looks like maybe over the weekend we could see a little bit of energy down here make its way north. And areas maybe in the eastern Ozarks could get a little bit of shower activity, but that still seems to be a long shot given the pattern that we're in right now. In the short term, over the next couple of days, it's just going to stay quiet. We're going to find, again, a bit of high cloudiness, especially the further north you go up toward Highway 54. Areas down from, say, Highway 60 south into northern Arkansas likely going to stay mostly clear overnight tonight and remain mostly clear, I think, through much of Thursday as well. So looks like what we saw today is what we're going to get again tomorrow, and we'll see it repeated again on Friday. Temperatures tonight, they'll be fairly light out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperatures cooling off into the low 50s east, 55 here in Springfield, about 57 in Joplin. A little bit warmer than we've seen the last few nights. Tomorrow will be a little bit warmer than we've seen the last few days. Looks like we'll see mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, especially along and north of I-44, with mostly sunny conditions for the most part further south. Temperatures tomorrow, we're going to add a few degrees. Looks like about 80 here in Springfield, 79 in Lake Ozark, maybe 81 down in Mountain Home. And that slow warming trend will continue through this weekend. Friday, 57 for the low, 80 for the high, upper 50s again Saturday and Sunday mornings, but we'll see highs, I think, in the low 80s. Again, there could be an isolated shower threat across the eastern Ozarks on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, those afternoon highs will continue to inch up. In fact, looks like maybe low to mid 80s come Tuesday afternoon. That's the last day of the month. So we're going to wrap up September on a warm and quiet note. And then October comes around. And it looks like once we get into October, it's going to turn unsettled with a chance for showers and thunderstorms probably Wednesday, Thursday, possibly into Friday of next week.
Before that turns into snow, right? I'm just kidding.
I don't see any snow. After last winter, I don't know that anybody wants me to say that this early in the season. I don't see anything like that. It does look like it will cool off again, say, after the end of next week.
All right, Jamie. And the Viewers Club.
Let's see our Viewers Club number. There it is, 132-933. Our jackpot up to $300.
All right, Jamie, thanks.
I just knew that this was not normal.
When grief will not go away, it can cause some mental health problems.
The new treatment approach that the study shows works better than traditional depression therapy.
Color 10 News is sponsored in part by Men's Big and Tall Mart.
I had several different doctors for a medical condition, and I was using the larger chain stores, and I was having a lot of troubles getting all the medicine straight between the doctors. And my pharmacist has contacted me on several occasions with drug interactions the doctors didn't catch. He caught that. I relayed it to my doctors, and they all went, "Oh, well, I'm glad he caught that." And I was really glad he caught it, too. They've taken care of me for years, and absolutely go see them.
Family Pharmacy. We were living in a trailer. We had gotten behind on our power bill. I felt not only that I had let myself down, but that I had let my kid down. Education was the only way. If I was going to make this happen, I needed to do it now. When I heard that WGU was flexible, that it was affordable, and that my learning would be competency-based, there was no other option. The doors that opened for me after my degree would not have opened for me if I wouldn't have pursued that. With enough hard work and dedication, we really can do and be anything if we want it badly enough.
Here's a look at stock quotes of local interest. Color 10 News will continue in a moment.
Did you know that 1.3 million accidents a year involve texting while driving? That's nearly 25% of all accidents in the U.S. Hi, I'm Chad Vaught with Jimmy Mitchell Motors in Aurora. You can be a part of the solution to this growing problem by taking the No Text Pledge. Help make the roads a no-text zone, and you'll protect yourself, your family, and those around you. Remember, no text is so important it's worth dying for.
Making medical news now at 5 tonight. Losing a loved one can cause some people to develop mental health problems.
Alfonso Van Marsh examined new research into what's being called complicated grief.
When Iris Paley's 26-year-old son, Jeremy, died in a car crash, she says her grief was overwhelming.
You keep thinking about the same person over and over and over again.
She tried therapy, but it didn't help.
I just knew that this was not normal.
Iris was suffering from complicated grief. People with the mental health problem experience very intense longing, sadness, and have difficulty functioning.
A lot of kind of preoccupying thoughts and memories of the person who died, and a very strong tendency to avoid, at the same time, to avoid reminders of the loss.
Dr. Catherine Shear led a new study at Columbia University that had patients repeatedly visualize the moment they learned their loved one died. They found the new approach worked much better than traditional depression therapy.
The therapist is there with them and also helps them right afterwards to kind of reflect on that experience and to start to reflect on the meaning of the death.
This is University of Pennsylvania.
After struggling with her grief for 6 years, a friend of Iris's son suggested she take part in the study. She says the treatment has finally helped her cope.
Jeremy's not here. He's not coming back. And the only thing I can do is live and honor him by being the best person I know how to be.
Some research defines complicated grief as a very intense feeling of grief 6 months after a traumatic event, and it interferes with everyday life. Well, new at 6 tonight, an update on the mobile home community where letters told tenants to poison stray cats with antifreeze. The group that's coming in to help the cats will explain that. And it's not often you see live animals inside the supermarket.
Except for maybe the lobster for sale in the tank, but one supermarket has no problem letting this cat roam around. He's not a stray. Find out where he lives up next.
Color 10's Forecast First, sponsored by Three Stone Homes. More home, less money.
Folks are talking about FFO Home. When I'm home, I just like to relax, which is what I love about FFO Home. I know what I'm buying is top quality because everything in the store is backed with a 100% warranty, so I can relax.
living room buys at FFO Home. Multi-fabric sofa, only $298. Add a touch of class with our designer sofa at just $498. It's a steal. Our lift top all-wood coffee table is $295. Save now at FFO Home.
It's autumn in the Ozarks, so fill up with fall. Immerse yourself in the beauty of the season. Stand mesmerized by true artistry. Soak up the rhythms of lively musicians. And awed by the best cowboy celebration and Wild West show this side of the Rio Grande. Drink in the romance, dance in the colors, revel in the wonder of Silver Dollar City's National Harvest and Cowboy Festival. Fill up with fall.
This is the moment you've waited for. It's time to fish. It's time to roll. It's time to fly. Because the leaves may change, but the good times keep going. With crisp air and excitement for miles. It's all smiles in Branson. Start planning your getaway today at explorebranson.com.
CBS Monday. It's a night of premieres so big, it's genius.
Sheldon and his brain, yeah!
First, it's a whole new hour of TV's biggest show.
Yeah!
The Big Bang Theory.
My brain is better than everybody!
Then, what's even bigger than a genius?
We have a combined IQ of nearly 700.
A whole team of them.
Bad guys are getting smarter. I need you and your team. Your only logical move.
Scorpion series premiere after The Big Bang Theory. CBS Monday starting 8/7 Central.
Well, this cat makes himself pretty comfortable at a New Zealand supermarket.
Nearly every day, Diesel hangs out at the front entrance. Workers have even given the cat his own bed and food bowl. Diesel's not a stray either. He lives around the corner. His owner tried getting him to stay home, but the cat kept coming back for more.
He just likes to go out for the day. Likes to go out and kind of roam around, check things out in the neighborhood.
I gotta admit, I like going to places, restaurants, and places where you do have that cat that just kind of free roams, you know? I just think it's kind of neat.
Dog is fun too. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.